Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night.
Geoff, do you take Lindsay to be your wedded wife in the presence of these witnesses? Do you promise to love her and stand by her in sickness or in health, in poverty or in wealth, forsaking all others as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Lindsay, do you take Geoff to be your wedded husband, and in the presence of these witnesses, do you promise to love him and stand by him in sickness and in health, in poverty or in wealth, forsaking all others as long as you both shall live?
I do.
This evening we've gathered at the request of Lindsay and Geoff as they take each other's hand in marriage. And it's rather fitting and appropriate that you, their friends and family, have gathered here this evening to witness and participate in their wedding, because the ideals, the understanding, and the mutual respect they bring to their marriage have their roots in the love, friendship, and guidance that so many of you have poured into their lives over the years. We want to pause here to remember those who played a significant role in the lives of Lindsay and Geoff, who are not with us today. Mr. and Mrs. John Ralston, grandparents of Lindsay. Mr. and Mrs. Webb Stovall, grandparents of Lindsay. Mr. and Mrs. Mel Tobias, grandparents of Geoff. Mr. Walter Dayton Jr., grandfather of Geoff. And Mr. John Deliacano, uncle of Geoff.
Nice.
Then Mr. Dennis Weber, Lindsay's other father, and Mr. Skip Heyer, a close family friend of Geoff. We can all be assured that every one of them would be as proud as each one of you will be when you finally get to hear Lindsay and Geoff share their vows of love and commitment with each other here in just a few minutes. As we've gathered here this evening, we recognize we constitute an incredibly unique and diverse community. However, there's one single thread that runs through our relationship with Lindsay and Geoff, and that is that each one of us holds a special place down deep in Lindsay and Geoff's heart. For that reason, they've invited you here to share in this joyous occasion. To their delight, you've accepted their offer to celebrate with them. Now, they recognize that so many of you have made sacrifices in order to participate in their lives, including for some of you, perhaps your very presence here today, and maybe there's some that even had to give up a football game to be here. They can especially forgive you for that. They will always be grateful, no matter what the circumstances, that you chose to be here on the biggest and most important day of their lives to celebrate with them. They'll always be grateful. I'd like to call on Geoff's Aunt Linda Kropak to share our first reading with us.
The magic of love. Love is like magic, and it always will be, for love still remains life's sweet mystery. Love works in ways that are wondrous and strange, and there's nothing in life that love cannot change. Love can transform the most commonplace into beauty and splendor and sweetness and grace. Love is unselfish, understanding, and kind, for it sees with its heart and not with its mind. Love is the answer that everyone seeks. Love is the language that every heart speaks. Love cannot be bought. It is priceless and free. Love, like pure magic, is life's sweet mystery.
Well, Lindsay and Geoff and Linda just shared with us a great definition of what love is, and even more importantly than that, how transformational love is. Now, whenever a wedding occurs, there's a lot of love in the air. We can kind of feel the vibes. We have the lovely bride, the handsome groom, the beautiful bridesmaids. They're not looking too bad either, are they? It's a great day. We're all excited and happy because we're here to celebrate with you the love that you have. I like the concept that Aunt Linda shared with us of magic in love, because when you step back and look at what has developed between the two of you these past 3 years, I think we'd all have to agree that it was magic. We give credit to Geoff and Ashley Deuce for asking each of you to join their co-ed softball team. Geoff, you'd also invited your then current love interest to play on the team as well, but as Lindsay observed, fortunately, she was terrible and never came back. After the second or third game, Lindsay, you were chatting with your friend Christine. Identify yourself. As Geoff was leaving the parking lot, he had his hat on backwards and one arm draped over the steering wheel kind of casually, acting like he was a really cool guy. And Christine said, and I quote, "Damn, look at Tobes. He's kind of cute." Lindsay, you shot a glance over at him, and at that very moment you thought to yourself, I guess that guy is kind of cute. The next game you realized that you two were the only two players at the game who weren't there with significant others. So you asked Geoff if he wanted to have a beer with you after the game.
During the game.
Oh. I should have known you guys would drink during the wedding. You drink even before the wedding. So. Let me start again on that. So you asked if he wanted to drink a beer with the other single teammate that was there. Of course, Geoff, you said yes. And that's when you knew that this girl was something special. And Geoff, you were impressed that Lindsay was not only cute, but also athletic and looked great in her softball shorts. By the way, Lindsay, I understand that you and Christine are still good friends, even though you won the grand prize. Geoff, you remember clearly that first date. You started out to Redskin Stadium. Lindsay had just returned from homecoming weekend at the University of Delaware and wasn't feeling too great. We won't pursue that. About halfway to the stadium, even though Lindsay said she was okay, you realized that it wasn't worth going to watch the Redskins lose another game because Lindsay feeling so bad. So we went back home and watched the game on your couch. Then the 4 p.m. game, then the Sunday night football. This turned out to be every man's dream date. After that, you were pretty much inseparable. You could always be found hanging out together. Lindsay, your roommates, Maria, Neil, and Christine, were very instrumental in the very beginning of the relationship. They would encourage you to invite Geoff over, and as you began meeting each other's friends, you both felt a warmth and a genuine acceptance from them. You connected well with each other's families and appreciated how they welcomed you into their families with open arms. And along the way, you had your great adventures, skiing in Seven Springs and Vail with Lindsay's family, as well as trips to New York or to the beach with your family, Geoff, capped off by your vacation to Cozumel. Last October, Lindsay, you and your mother walked the 60-mile Susan K. Komen walk for breast cancer, and the guys would show up at the various cheering stations to give support. And Geoff, at the first cheering station, you asked her dad and brother for their permission and blessing to marry Lindsay, and her dad's response was, "Really?" Are you serious? My daughter? Now, you had originally planned to propose at the finish line, but as you observed how weary and emotional the women were, you decided to go home and ask the question. There, Lindsay, Geoff pulled up and said he needed you to wait in the car a couple of minutes. And finally, when you walked in the door, Geoff had a dozen pink roses and a card with a poem on it that he had written himself. He read it to you and finally got to the words, "Will you marry me?" And by then, you were sobbing. So, Geoff, you had to get down on one knee and ask again since she hadn't given you an answer. After about 3 minutes, you finally got a very positive answer with lots of kisses accompanying it. As your wedding day approached, you shared with me some of your thoughts and feelings, and I'd like to share some of those with your guests so that they can kind of keep up to date with what's going on as you are ready to become husband and wife. Lindsay said this: "I believe that I have found the most amazing person in the entire world. I've never felt more confident in my decision to marry Geoff. He's the only person that makes me laugh on a daily basis. I have no doubt in my mind that he will support me through everything that comes our way in the future. We laugh together, we cry together, but no matter what, I know that this guy is special. I can't wait to start a family with him, can't wait to have our children, see what an incredible person he is. Oh, let our children see what an incredible person he is." I laugh. Geoff said this: "I think that I'm the luckiest man in the world. I don't believe that there's anyone in the world better suited for me. Lindsay makes me a better person. I'm extremely excited to spend the rest of my life with the most beautiful woman I know and with my best friend. She's smart, funny, thoughtful, and absolutely stunning to look at. Say especially in those softball moments. I love her more than anything else in the world." And so now we have finally arrived at the most important words you're ever going to say to each other. The vows that you have very nicely written for each other. Geoff, I want to invite you to share these vows with Lindsay this time.
Lindsay, although it took a few weeks of softball for us to finally speak to each other, when we finally did, I knew we shared a special bond. I promise that I will always strive to keep that same connection with you. The past 3 years have been the happiest of my life, and I owe that all to you. I vow to do my very best to return the favor and make the next few decades the happiest of your life. I will continue to try to make you laugh, even though mostly unsuccessful. Sing terrible made-up songs to you, even though mostly off-key. And most importantly, love you the way that I have since we began this journey 3 years ago. I have such a deep adoration, love, and respect for you that it's nearly impossible to express in words. You're my best friend, the most beautiful woman I know, and I can't wait to finally call you my wife. I love you."
Nicely said. Lindsay, you can talk that. Go ahead.
Geoff, I stand here today knowing that I have found my other half. I have found the person that completely understands everything about me and the person who I can feel 100% comfortable with. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. Today starts a really exciting new chapter in our lives, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Thank you for being trustworthy, supportive, understanding, patient, and for making me laugh constantly with your silly songs. I love you today. I will love you more tomorrow, and I promise to love and support you until our time on this earth is over.
Well done. This would be the point in the ceremony where we'd ask Geoff to sing one of those silly songs. But it's not going to happen. May I have the rings, please? You have them? Having this kind of love in your hearts for one another that you've just expressed, you've chosen to exchange the wedding ring as a sign and seal of the promises you both have shared with one another. These rings symbolize your life together, for they are never ending and always beginning. As you wear these rings, whether you're together or in some distant place, even for a moment, may these rings always be a constant reminder of your love and commitment and the special words you've shared with each other here this evening before us. Lindsay, as you place this ring on Geoff's finger, Repeat after me. Geoff. Geoff, I give you this ring to wear.
Geoff, I give you this ring to wear
as a symbol of our unity,
as a symbol of our unity,
love, respect, and trust.
love, respect, and trust.
Geoff, as you place this ring on Lindsay's finger, repeat after me. Lindsay, I give you this ring to wear
Lindsay, I give you this ring to wear
as a symbol of our unity,
as a symbol of our unity,
love, respect, and trust.
love, respect, and trust.
This time, I'd like to invite Lindsay's other mother, Linda Weber, to come forward and share our second reading.
And now that I've heard all this, this is perfect. Love is a friendship that has caught fire. It is quiet understanding and mutual confidence. It's sharing and giving. It's loyalty through good and bad. It settles for less than perfection and makes allowances for human weakness. Love is content with the present, hopes for the future, and does not bleed for the past. It's the day in and day out chronicles of irritations, problems, compromises, small disappointments, but big victories and working for common goals. If you have love in your life, it can make up for a great many things you lack. If you don't have it, no matter what else there is, it's not enough. So search for it, ask God for it, and please share it.
I'd like to invite you both to hold each other's hands so that one of you has a palm up there. Perfect. Look down at these hands. I want to remind you that these are the hands of your best friend. Young and strong and full of love for you that are holding yours on your wedding day. As you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy like today. These are the hands that will lovingly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken softness with just a touch. And so Lindsay and Geoff, inasmuch as you each have expressed your desire to become one in marriage, we've watched as you have exchanged rings, we've listened as you shared your vows. By the token of those rings, and by the symbols of everything that's happened here today, you've fulfilled everything that needs to be done. So before this great group of witnesses, it's my privilege to declare you are finally husband and wife. And Geoff, now you can kiss your bride. Now I'm going to invite you to do that all over again as you welcome Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Tobias.
Down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, we're gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
Those of you who haven't been paying attention, I'm your father, the bride.
Wait.
And on behalf of myself, Ed and Laura Tobias, the, of course, parents of the groom, a hearty welcome. Thank you for braving the weather and joining us tonight. You honor us with your presence. So thank you so much for coming. Also, I would like to offer a big welcome to Geoff Tobias, who is now joining our family. For those of you from the New York contingent, you might look at our family as being fairly small. But what some of you may not know is that we were welcomed into the Weber family when Lindsay was only a few months old. So they have graciously brought us into their family with a wonderful welcome. Together with Arthur and Helena, her godparents, and Larissa, that is our family. And by almost any measure, that is truly a family. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming. I know Zachary has been welcomed into your New York family. Hayes. Oh, Hayes. Lindsay, of course, is part of that family. I can't claim that yet, but I've already got 3 invitations to go fishing off of Fort Washington, so I think I'm on the track anyway. So, welcome everyone, welcome to the family, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
And I'm Lindsay's matron of honor. I've been blessed to have Lindsay as my dear friend for almost the past 17 years. We met our 6th grade year at Rosa Parks Middle School. However, I honestly no longer remember the first moment we met or how we became friends because it feels as if she's always been in my life. Our friendship has taken us from those early days at Rosa Parks to different high schools, to roommates at the University of Delaware, and then beyond. From our braces and glasses to first loves and heartbreaks to husbands and families, although take your time, although your parents might say otherwise. She has been an extremely important part of my life. Lindsay has proven time and time again that she is the definition of a true friend. And she often knows me better than I sometimes know myself, and she's definitely not afraid to call me on that one. She will always be there with a shoulder to cry on, or a box of macaroni and cheese, or even a grilled cheese dipped in applesauce. She has always supported my decisions with open ears, arms, and heart, and I'm so thankful to have that in my life. It is such an honor for me to stand by her side on this special day as she makes one of the most momentous steps in her life. As I watched them say their vows today, I could see how much they both love and care for each other. They've become to one another what everyone should hope for in a partner, a compliment and a true inspiration. Lindsay with her incredible sense of humor and loving heart, and Geoff with his down-to-earth nature always keeping things in perspective.
A chip off the old
I was
block.
going to offer them some pearls of marriage advice based on my own 4 months of religion. But I thought it best to leave them with this poem by Chris Artis. Marriage is love walking hand in hand together. It's laughing with each other about silly things and learning to discuss big things with care and tenderness. In marriage, love is trusting each other. When you're apart, it's getting over disappointments and hurts, knowing that these are present in all relationships. It's the realization that there's no one else in the world that you'd rather be with than the one you're married to. It's thinking of new things to do together. It's growing old together. Marriage, real marriage, is being in love for the rest of your life. The toast to the very lovely bride and her very lucky groom, to Lindsay and Geoff.
I'm very happy to be here tonight celebrating Geoff and Lindsay's wedding. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John. I'm Geoff's cousin. I'm from the New York contingent. First, I'd like to thank the parents of the bride and groom for putting together such a beautiful weekend. The rehearsal dinner was wonderful. The ceremony was short, which is always good. And now that we've all had a couple drinks, we can consider the cocktail hour a success. Now, I know Geoff and Lindsay probably know more about each other than I do at this point, but here are a couple of things I've picked up that each would be wise to avoid as to the other. First, advice for Lindsay. Number one, avoid liking any other teams than Virginia Tech or the Washington Redskins. True. Number two, while fishing with Geoff, avoid letting bird's nest Geoff cast your pole and tangle your reel. And number three, avoid telling Geoff he's wrong. Although he is getting better at handling the things. And now some advice for Geoff about Lindsay, what to avoid. Number one, avoid seahorses. Number two, avoid any city, village, town, or county with a water fountain. And number three, avoid the gray mark. Of course.
Avoid the what?
Gray mark. Of course, doing silly things is a prerequisite in this family. And now that you have done so, you are officially invited in. But moving on to more important things, I'd like to
Put my drink down?
I'd like to assure Lindsay that you married a great man with a big heart, whose gregarious and jovial nature, in conjunction with his purse capacity and jocularity, will deepen your conviviality and lead to basorexia. Or, as Uncle Ed will translate for you later, happiness and babies. It is clear to me from spending time with both of you that you value the more important things in life: family, hard work, and laughter. And therefore, your one path will be both satisfying and pleasant. The hardships will come and go with no lasting effect, and you will find yourselves on the couch, in each other's company, watching your 3D TV the way God meant it to be. And now I ask everyone to raise your glasses and toast the happy couple. May your lives be filled with good health, happiness, and lots of basorexia.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes. Something without warning, love, it bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Lovely, lovely day, 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 lovely day.
The day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, yeah. Someone else instead of me.
always seems to know the way. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, 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 lovely day.
Get the hot mamas! Get down! What's your soul train? I don't know what that is.
I got a lot of raps, but I'll be brief. I never need a horse, I like to chill. So I drive up in my new Seville. My tribe went down in the Hall of Fame, 'cause I'm the one who shot Jesse James.